And one group that prominently is a strong supporter of former President Trump are white evangelical Christians. 8 out of 10 supported Trump in the 2020 elections. Now, to get some insight on this, let's bring in Troy Miller, the president and CEO of National Religious Broadcasters. Really good to see you. Good morning, Troy. Now, first, because of everything that happened, and there have been quite a few reports on the Christian community reacting to the assassination attempt on Trump, tell me, what's your reaction?
Yeah, first, our prayers have always been out for the president, and we're continuing to pray for him. An event like that's very traumatic. We're also praying for the family of the retired firefighter who lost his life as he was just trying to exercise his right as American to peacefully listen to a political speech, and for the 2 individuals who were wounded and now recovering. So the community really has, that's the reaction, is prayer. That's what we're about, and we need to keep praying for that and pray that this country can come together. And maybe the tragedy of this event, but the good side of it could be the unity that it would bring across the country.
Right. And now let's move to the more political issue here. So how has Trump been able to use the evangelical platform? Like just mentioned, he garnered a lot of support there. So how do you think he was able to achieve that?
Well, first of all, I think Trump just in general understands the working class community and the working community across this country, and I think he relates to them. Trump was early on in his candidacy, reached out to the evangelical community to find out what the community's needs were and what the priorities were for the community. And he's really been involved. I think he's come along in his own spiritual walk of where he's at with his relationship with God. But he has really attempted to understand the important issues for this community. And that's really resonated. And he really comes across, when you meet him, as just a down-to-earth person who's genuinely concerned about this country, and he's concerned about faith across this country.
So let's talk about some of those issues. Trump actually talked about tackling Christian bias at the NRB, this last NRB. So tell me a bit more about how big of an issue this is for you.
Well, it's a huge issue for us because we're an organization of Christian communicators. Our members are on radio and television. They're all across the digital spectrum and the internet. And we have seen just, especially over the last 5 years, so much censorship on our messages. We often talk to people out there, if you're going to talk about life, if you're going to talk about the family, if you're going to talk about there are only 2 genders, male and female, if you're going to talk about that marriage is between a man and a woman, you're probably going to get censored on most social media platforms, and your message is going to get either twisted or drowned out in the mainstream media.
I see. Well, thank you so much for giving us your insight on all this. Troy Miller, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.